Ladies, Tony Guys is here, and I want to talk to you. And something I want to hear from you all. First and foremost, what I say is please don't bring your ex-boyfriend, ex-husband into the comments. Please check your jadedness, your brokenness, your bitterness. Check it at the door. Because one thing that I get tired of reading is broken, bitter women in the comments. That is the most annoying thing. Please get coaching. Please get therapy. And stay out the comments with that stabbing your eyes out in the comments. It is a very bad look. Now this is what I'm wondering, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all all the way here of just like, what is this? What is this? So every day I'm coaching and I'm reading comments and I'm getting emails, and my finger is on the pulse of love and relationships. And one of the things that I have found as a man who is giving advice, trying to help women, I've found that women do not listen. And when I say that, I don't mean 100% of women. I mean 99.9% of women do not listen. And the women who think they listen until they truly tested by a man that they like, and then they cannot listen or hear anything. What I have found is that women are like putty in a man's hand. You know, putty is like, soft, wet clay or so, and you just could just do anything with it, just mold it, shape it, do anything. What I have found is that 99.9% of women are putty in a man's hand. That if a man says jump, women say how high. If the woman like the man, a man could do all wrong and the woman will take him back. A man can cheat on a woman, beat on a woman, lie to a woman, sleep with a sister, sleep with a best friend, and the woman will take him back. The woman will fight her sister, fight her mama, fight her brother, cuss everybody out, give everybody, even the Lord, Jesus Christ, her butt to kiss to keep and have a man. This is what I have found. On average, there are 5 or 10, women out of 100 who could walk away from a relationship. A lot of times when you see that happen, a lot of times it's the woman has been pushed beyond the point of return. She's been dogged out like none other. She's gone to almost literal hell and back when she decided to leave. And I'm wondering, and this one thing I've been wondering, is it this way because God made a woman to be in submission to a man? Is it this way because God knew what he created when he created man, and that a woman would have to have a high pain tolerance and a very great threshold for nonsense and foolishness when dealing with a man? Did God make men in such a way that men are so selfish and so greedy and so inconsiderate that nearly every woman we've ever met has had to go through World War to keep a man and to be with a man? Like, just multiple headaches. And can we as men come to a place of 100% confidence where we're not questioning our woman, we're not chasing our woman, and stoicism, where we are just emotionally intelligent, cool under pressure, Can we as men come to that place? Is it possible? I believe it is. It is not easy. It is not easy. We are needy. We are needy. And one of the things about humans that I've found is that men and women are needy. And the issue we face in relationship is the person who gives the least has the most power, and it should not be that way. The person who cares the least has the most power, and it should not be that way. So typically what we have in a relationship is a one-sided relationship. Sometimes it's the man who is giving and doing everything, and then sometimes it's the woman who is giving and doing everything. And what I found with humans is that when humans start to consistently receive, a lot of times humans forget to consistently reciprocate. Another thing I found with humans is humans want what we want, but we don't look well enough into what our husband or wife needs. And for those of y'all that have an issue with the word partner, the reason why you say partner is because it's one word, and when you're talking, it keeps you from saying husband or wife. So when you talking to a devout Christian, partner does not mean gay marriage. Partner does not mean shacking up. So you have to use context clues and inference, because I had to check somebody in the comments one time who was talking about stop saying partner is husband or wife. Listen, shut up. You're not talking. You're not sitting on here talking every day, so you don't have to worry about trying to use less words. So be quiet. Thank you. I'm never talking about gay marriage when I'm talking. So understand that. And one thing I found is that if a woman is not receiving, she'll start giving, giving, giving with the hopes that she will receive. If a man is not receiving, he'll start giving, giving, giving with the hopes that he will receive. And in that time of giving, whoever is giving can get stuck giving because the other person gets so just washed and relaxed with the love that they're getting. They assume that they're doing everything they need to be doing, and they don't give because they're receiving without really giving. So they're like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I'm getting all of this love. I must be amazing. I must be a great partner. When in fact, they could be a terrible partner, and the other person is giving, trying to get more, like trying to get them to open up and trying to get them to speak their language or what they need. And this is what I'm finding. And so that's why you see so many women who say they cooking, they cleaning, they sexing, and what do they want in return? It may be different for every woman. Acts of service, faithfulness, gifts, intimacy, compliments, loyalty, love. Like, what do they want? And so a man will start to receive. He's getting meals, he's getting submission, he's getting sex, and then he receives it as if this is what he is owed. He kicks his feet up and he doesn't think, how can I please her? What can I do for her? How can I serve her? And then if he starts to think like that, then the woman says, yes, kick her feet up and stop doing what she was doing. So this is a problem that we're facing in relationships, but that is neither here nor there. The biggest problem that I'm seeing is women's desperation for a relationship and being willing to give and to do anything for a man. Being willing to forgive anything and not being able to walk away. And I've been coaching a lot more women of different races because it was primarily black women, but now it's women of so many different nationalities and ethnicities and races. And I'm realizing that this is a common thing, regardless of a woman's race or nationality, that women are oftentimes subservient and submissive and forgiving and I wouldn't say naive and gullible because a lot of times the woman may know what's going on. It's more so self-hating or weak. And if you think about a boy and you think about a man, when you raise a boy, what do you have to do with a boy? You have to have structure and you have to have a reward system. You have to have a consequence system, punishment system. You have to have consistency. You have to be firm. You have to be stern. And you have to be loving. The same applies to a man. So what happens is a lot of boys are not raised right. So then they become men who don't know how to act right. And then women get with the man. And then the woman doesn't know how to deal with the man because the man is treated like a spoiled boy. And if the man doesn't get what he wants, he throws a temper tantrum, and the woman acquiesces and gives him whatever he wants from that temper tantrum. And then when a man back is against the wall and a woman is starting to kind of see the light and she's realizing she's being lied to or she's being cheated on, she's being mistreated, then a man is able to show vulnerability. He's able to cry, beg, plead, ask for forgiveness, and then the woman forgets everything that he's ever done wrong and accepts him back. Now, with some women, the man got to pay the piper. He got to buy a bunch of gifts, flowers. He got to do all kind of stuff, and rightfully so. But it should never just be about what he's buying and what he's doing. It should be about a heart change. And some women, if they just get enough gifts, get enough of those type of things, then they're like, So now it becomes this dirty game of you mess up and then buy me back. And then the woman becomes more like a bottom chick, more like a prostitute that he's loyal to. Because if he makes her mad, he has to buy her back. And then it becomes this twisted language between the two of she starts to like the gifts and the things more than the man and the relationship. So this is where we at, and I'm just a little curious as to, based on what you've seen. And a lot of times people say, oh, well, women cheat and women do cheat. And so that's why they not really putting up with this or putting up with that. But I work with so many women who, in the midst of them being cheated on, in the midst of them being lied to, they ain't doing nothing. Like they ain't talking to no other man, and I know they ain't talking to no other man because I'm doing too much coaching. So I know they ain't even got time for no other man because they getting too many coach sessions. And I just know, I just be able to read it. So that right there is a myth that people have said that women cheat as much as men. I wish it was true because it would make us look less bad, but it's not true. If it was, I would tell you. But I'm out here. I'm out here, and I'm dealing with it. I'm right in the midst of it. Now, a woman will emotionally cheat, and then some women will physically cheat. But if a woman physically cheats, she's already checked out of the relationship. It's just a title for a title. She's not even in the relationship. But I've coached prostitutes who are faithful to their man escorts faithful to their man, strippers faithful to their man, women who you assume have no morals, no values are faithful in a relationship. So how much more do you think you'll get from a woman with morals and values who has not stooped to that level of selling their body? And that's what people got to realize is a lot of women putting up with crap. But to the ladies, I want y'all to understand that if you don't hold a man accountable, you not only hurting yourself, but you hurting the whole ecosystem of relationships. So what we need is, as men, we need accountability. We need more women that's gonna hold a man accountable in the relationship and not just put up with any and everything. You got to hold a man accountable. You got to communicate. You got to tell him what you want, what you need, and what you will and won't tolerate. And then you have to stand on that. You got to stick to it. If it means packing up the kids and leaving, you have to do it. It might be for a season or a period of time, but he has to know that you mean business and that you will be single and that you will leave. Some men don't care. Some men will let you go all the way. Some men will let you go. That's how divorce happens. A woman filed for divorce. The man don't really do nothing about it. He let her go. All that means is that you chose wrong. It was never meant to be. There's little red flags within the first 6 months to a year that would have told you that, but not knowing what to look for, you missed it, and that's how you end up 10, 15 years in with the wrong man. So that's why getting this knowledge is important. But when a relationship is supposed to be, it's seamless, it fits like a glove, it flows, it's smooth, there's not a bunch of break up to make up, back and forth. It flows, it works. And but when there's a bunch of break up to make up in the first year, a whole bunch of arguing, fussing, fighting, a whole bunch of not trusting, a bunch of power struggle, that's when you know you with the wrong person. You need to cut your losses, move on with your life. So this where we got to get to of a mutual respect, standards, boundaries, and consequences, rewards, but just knowing who you are, knowing what you bring to the table, knowing what you want at the table, and standing on that, not being so weak and delusional to where you putting up with any and everything. What women have to understand is that as men, we're capable of learning. We're capable of growing. We're capable of changing. But we only do that when it's required of us. A man will give the bare minimum. It's just the nature of a human. It's the nature of a man. The same thing for a woman. A woman is not going to cook and clean if it's not expected of her and if she doesn't have to do it. A woman cooks and cleans because she gotta do it because ain't nobody else doing it. Like if she don't have a maid, she don't have a chef, she gotta cook and clean. If the man can't cook or he working, she do what she gotta do. But if you give a woman a chef and you give her a maid, then she gonna accept it. Humans do the bare minimum. If you give a woman a Louis Vuitton purse every week, she gonna accept it. Now, we all say what we won't do when we can't do. But until you get to the point where you can do, then you can't say what you won't do. And that's what I learned. I used to always say, oh no, this, and this, that. But you never know what you'll do until you're able to do it. So I'm sure it'll be women in the comments, I never want a Louis Vuitton every week. I would never accept that. I would put that money on the market. Yeah, because you ain't never been in that position. So it's easy to say what you gonna do with a plate of food when you starving. And so, but when you got more than enough food to eat, then guess what? Some of them places of food going in the trash, and you never thought you'll see today. So just listen to him on this. Just listen to him on this, and understand this human nature. But we have to address it And we got to come to a place where we have a mutual respect and where both parties are getting what they need in a relationship, and that it's a mutual effort, and it's given both ways, and it's respect both ways, it's love both ways, it's faithfulness both ways. And so that relationships can stop being so one-sided, where the man getting everything or the woman getting everything, and then you coming to a point to where you just breaking down and you want to quit and give up because none of your needs have been heard, respected, met, adhered to, and that's an issue. And we got to work on that. But hey, this Tony Gaskins, God bless you. Y'all think on this, man, cause I'm just hoping for the day that more and more women could get more strength to see when a man is playing in her face and be able to say, I ain't gonna put up with this. I'm moving on with my life. And the faster a woman can do that, the faster she will meet the love of her life. But the longer you sit around and placate and play around with a joker, the more time you waste, and you'll find yourself out of time before you know it. Hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.